It's been a really big week in the world of AI. We've got a lot of new tools to cover and a lot of...
What are you doing? This is my channel.
This is your AI News of the Week.
Before we get going, I want to say thank you to the Hollywood Professional Association for inviting Shelby and I to their annual tech retreat. We were able to share our vision for a democratized filmmaking future to over 800 of the most powerful and successful people in Hollywood. Thank you to everyone for your encouragement at the event. We were, of course, able to meet Tim from Theoretically Media and Nico from Corridor Digital, along with a handful of incredible folks. All right, let's get to the news. I want to kick things off by revisiting SORA. So we actually came across this really interesting example last week of SORA versus Runway. So you can see from the video that the differences between SORA and Runway is pretty extreme. SORA creates realism in a way that Runway doesn't really come close to at the moment. However, we came across some information this last week that makes me think that SORA is not quite the cinematic filmmaking tool that it was cracked up to be just a week ago. For example, it was revealed that to create a 1-minute clip inside of SORA, it's going to take about an hour of rendering time. This kind of reminds me of a VFX pipeline where typically you'll render in the evening and then watch your renders in the morning and do dailies and then adjust from there. It really feels like SORA, because of this latency, might not be great for a back and forth filmmaking process. And to take it one step further, whenever you're working on a film, you want to have maximum control over the generations that you create. You want to be able to specifically art direct the characters and your scene, and you want consistency. Well, with SORA, at least at this point, it feels like it's going to be very challenging to pull that off. So for the time being, image to video workflows where you get to creative direct are more than likely going to continue to be a staple of AI video production. SORA will more than likely be helpful for detail shots or establishing shots, but for the bulk of your film, it might be very challenging to use the tool. There were some pretty hilarious examples online of some SORA fails. I highly recommend checking them out. They're absolutely hilarious. And while we're talking about filmmaking, I want to let you know about an event that's happening in Los Angeles in just a couple of weeks. It's absolutely amazing. A team of 50 AI artists have put together a feature-length parody of Terminator 2. It's 50 of the most talented AI artists in the world. In fact, some of them are Curious Refuge students. You can find a link below this video to purchase the tickets. We're going to try to make it out to this event and be a part of cinematic history. The team at Suno updated their AI music generation model, and the results are absolutely jaw-dropping. Version 3 has faster generations, dedicated instrumental button, and more language support, making it more accessible to more people. Let me show you how to use it. So to use Suno, all you have to do is go to Make a Song from the homepage, go to Create, and now you can type in a prompt in the style of the song that you want to create. In our example, I'm going to say a UK rap song about chocolate cake. We'll make sure that we're in the version 3 alpha and go ahead and click Create. So let's listen to the result.
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen whipping up a masterpiece. Got the oven blazing, baking like a boss. Fill on my apron, sprinkling some sugar, making chocolate cake that'll make your mouth water. Mixing up the batter, gotta get it smooth, adding cocoa powder, gotta bring the flavor. Whipping up the frosting, gotta make it rich, stacking up the layers, it's a chocolate dreams.
I highly recommend checking out the tool. You'll find a link below this video. In fact, my mom called me and told me that she's been using this tool and I didn't even tell her about it. So it's incredibly easy to use and very fun to share with friends and family. And the results are pretty good. In fact, the music that's underneath this video right now was created using Suno. Our AI filmmaking and AI advertising course is opening up enrollment on February 28th. If you've been curious about learning how to take your storytelling skills to the next level, we'd love to have you inside of the program. There are hundreds of people on the waitlist for the March session, so be sure to set your alarms for 11 a.m. Pacific time on February 28th. In sound effects news, the team at Elevenlabs announced their new text-to-sound effects model that will be dropping very soon. You can sign up for the waitlist below this video. Now let's go ahead and listen to some of the sound effects that were generated for a SORA demo. So as you can see, some of the sound effects sound really good, some of them need some work, but the fact that you can just type in a prompt and get a pretty good sound effect is only the beginning. Pretty soon, especially in light of some larger index tokens that are popping up in some of the advanced AI algorithms, we'll soon have automatic sound effects inside of our films. And while we're talking about Elevenlabs, I want to extend a congratulations to them for landing the Disney Accelerator program for 2024. It's really cool to see innovative AI companies partnering up with studios to push the boundaries of storytelling. And on that note, I have a very special announcement from Tim at Theoretically Media.
Hey, I just want to take a second to congratulate Bardic Reels, who just won the $500 from AKOOL. Congratulations. I hope you do not spend that prize money on a bunch of runway credits. Definitely go treat yourself to an extra scoop of ice cream.
Thank you so much for participating in last week's competition. We'll have another game in this week's episode coming up soon. The team at Stability AI also announced that their Stable Diffusion version 3 model is coming very soon. The new model, of course, has better quality and allows you to have more textual control over the inputs that you put into Stable Diffusion. I saw a really cool example of someone who prompted an image of a red liquid container on the left that has 1, blue in the middle with 2, and green on the right with 3. And I thought that was really impressive, and I wanted to run a test inside of Midjourney doing the exact same thing, and I fully anticipated that Midjourney would do a terrible job. And the first render was not great, but the second one was actually exactly what I prompted, and the result actually looked better than Stable Diffusion version 3. So while I would love to see more examples from Stable Diffusion version 3, it does seem like you can generate similar results with some of the other image generators that are currently on the market. And that brings us to our game of the week. This week, we have 4 images that were generated with a very complex prompt. I want you to tell me which one was generated in Stable Diffusion version 3, which one was generated in Midjourney, which one was generated in DALL-E, and which one was generated in Leonardo. The prompt is a photo of a red sphere on top of a blue cube. Behind them is a green triangle. On the right is a dog, and on the left is a cat. So a very complex prompt. Here we have image number 1. Here we have image number 2. Here is image number 3. And here is image number 4. If you think you know the answer, let us know in the comments of this video. We will randomly select a winner to receive some free swag from Curious Refuge. In Google Gemini news, they actually came out and paused their image generations this last week because some people were generating some results that were not exactly politically correct. But sticking with Gemini, they actually came out with some tests of their Gemini 1.5 Pro model that has the ability to input up to 1 million tokens of information. What that means is you're basically able to upload up to 700,000 words of information into Gemini. It will read that information and then you can ask it questions. And for reference, the King James Bible is about 783,000. So that is a ton of text. It also is the equivalent of 11 hours of audio or 1 hour of video. There's a really cool demo from Google where they use the 1.5 model and ask it questions about a 45-minute film that they uploaded, and it knows exact information about the movie. Now, when we begin to think about how this might impact the film industry, if AI has the ability to read and dissect information from a video up to an hour long, it can also reverse engineer that and use that as the building blocks for truly AI-generated films in the future. There was also some wild news from OpenAI this last week. ChatGPT just all of a sudden started spouting out nonsensical words, and the developers had to go in and fix the problem. What I think this really highlights is the fact that language models can still get bugs, and the need for developers to go in and fix some of those issues will still pop up. Now, ChatGPT has already been fixed, but of course, this is likely not the last time that we're going to see bugs like this in language models. Elon Musk came out this last week and said that Twitter is in conversations with Midjourney to integrate Midjourney directly into Twitter. Of course, there are a lot of details that need to be worked out before Midjourney can be fully integrated into Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it. But even if the deal doesn't go through, Elon said he wants to put an AI art generator directly inside of X no matter what. And while we're talking about Midjourney, we have some great news about the continued development of Midjourney 6 and some rumors about Midjourney 7. So Midjourney 6 is going to have character consistency. In fact, Midjourney is already testing this feature. Now, of course, consistency with your characters, backgrounds, and style is one of the biggest challenges when you're working on an AI project. But pretty soon, we will have the ability to more easily create consistent characters. They also said that Midjourney 6 will soon be faster than the current version, and it will, of course, have better aesthetics. There's also a rumor that Midjourney 7 will have AI video as well. And with OpenAI's SORA announcement, the bar has really been set really high, so we'll see what Midjourney is able to create. In other news that's absolutely hilarious, about a year ago, Will Smith eating spaghetti became a meme on the internet, and it's still hilarious to this day. Well, Will Smith wanted to do a parody SORA video where he actually just videoed himself eating spaghetti, and it's completely amazing. Fantastic job, Will. But someone went one step further and created a video of spaghetti eating Will Smith, and we also think that one is hilarious. And that brings us to our AI films of the week. I want to kick things off this week by talking about the Pomegranate Spell. This film was an entry into the Runway 48-hour film competition. It's basically a retelling of the myth of Persephone. It has some really beautiful romantic shots, and some of the animation looks realistic. So I think they probably went into After Effects and did a little manipulation as well, but it features some really good curation. The next film is called The File by Jamie Rojas Cassetti. The film is basically about a scientist being commissioned by the government to do some biological experiments. And the film is really interesting, but what I really appreciate is some of the macro VFX shots. Some of the shots in here look like they are very advanced 3D models with some really interesting movement. So I think they did a fantastic job on this project. And our final film of the week is I Want to Be Happy. It's basically about a robot that steals a microchip that allows him to experience emotions. And of course, halfway through, he falls in love with a puppy because that's one of the best emotions anyone can have. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of AI Film News. If you want to join us for our March session, be sure to set a reminder on your calendar or sign up for the waitlist over at Curious Refuge. You'll find a link below this video. And of course, you can get AI Film News delivered directly to your inbox by signing up over at Curious Refuge. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.